Hello and welcome to Dommy Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is from the Arts Institute of Atlanta. This is where my husband went to school to be a chef. And today's tea is actually not a stash tea. It is the Tetley chocolate chai. Perfect deep chocolate tea for an icky gray day. Yet another one. Anyway, I'm sure you'll notice that something is different today. We are sans makeup today, and that is because we are going to be opening our February Lola. And I happen to know that there is stuff in here to do the face. So we are actually going to attempt to put on makeup on film today. Now, I say attempt because, one, I'm blind as a bat, so without my glasses, even without my glasses, I will probably be pressing my nose up against my mirror, and that might make it hard for you guys to see. And two, I very rarely do very simple looks, so considering how much my phone can hold, we'll just have to see how well this goes. I'm sure I'll figure something out if we have a problem somewhere towards the end. The other thing we're going to be testing today is that Sassy Chick foundation that I picked up from Dollar Tree. That'll be our foundation for today. But before we start all of that, we have last month's box to talk about. Now, I have to say, last month's box was a big disappointment in a lot of ways. And not just because it ran all over the country, although that was part of it, but that was not necessarily Lola's fault. The colors picked for me and a few other things just didn't quite work out. But let's get through it. Let's go through it. So first we have this RMS nail polish. This is a no. The color is part of the problem, but the other part of the problem was even with my top coat, this stuff just did not survive very well. So this will be going into Project Beauty Share. I hope they can find someone who can use it and who enjoys it, but not me. So that's out. The other thing that I got that was also the wrong color was this Doucce Click Click Lipstick. And you just press it to either lock it in or let it out, but you still have to roll it up. The color itself is also an orangey color. Not a color I like. So this too will be going into my Project Beauty Share. I also received these Feel Brilliant Bamboo Charcoal Facial Sheet Masks. And I tried one. Ew. Just ew. I don't think I'm a sheet mask person. Now I know. Yeah, they're cold and slimy, and it didn't. The one thing that you like about charcoals, it feels like it gets into your skin and gets the impurities out. I didn't feel that with this. I did like having the leftover stuff to put on, rubbed into your face, but not enough to want to use these again or try another sheet mask. These have actually been claimed by my oldest daughter and will go back to her. I think there's only one left. Yep, there's only one left. So she will get this back, but not for me. And finally in last month's box, because they failed to give us one of our items, was this LA, hold on a minute, let me find it, LA Splash. I was saying it wrong last time. Karina Mascara. This is, I like the brush. The color is good. It separates the lashes, but it otherwise doesn't really do anything for me. So this will probably also go to one of my kids. It just didn't, it's no better than my Great Lash. And oh, just wasn't impressed. So pretty packaging, but not impressed. Okay, so there's this month's box where I actually didn't open this beforehand the way I usually do. And yes, I use a knife. Knife, box cutter, same thing, right? Let's open this up. And there's the inside for y'all. We've got our little card with all of our products for this month. And our theme is You're the Light of My Life. I'm going to set this aside for now and reach in and pick out a first item. I've seen a couple of the spoilers, but not all of them. First item is an Aesthetica E14 brush. I love receiving brushes. I love receiving brushes. Oh, they sealed this one up. They want to make sure you can't open that up. That's a good stiff tip. This is the kind of brush I use to do lining of my eyes with, so I will probably try to use that today. It's a bit on the wider side than what I normally use, but that's exciting. I like getting brushes. I love getting brushes. So I'm going to put that aside. We're going to try to use that today. Now this is one of the things that I saw in the spoilers that I find kind of interesting. This is the Suva Beauty Hydra Liner. And this is a deliberately dry liner. This is in Gold Digger. It is deliberately a dry liner. And see, for right now, it's very dry. You can't get anything on your hand. You can't get anything on the brush. Okay, so what they were saying is that you have to use some kind of medium. And what I use when I do my eye lining is I use setting spray, because I use a lot of eyeshadows to do my eyeliner. Spritz my setting spray. Let's see if this works. I'm excited to see if this works. Dip our new brush in the setting spray. Okay. Then dip the brush in here. See if it picks anything up. Ah, we're actually picking a little something up. And there it is. Very light. I don't know if you can see that. It's right there. Now they also said you could spray directly into the pot, but I'm not going to do that if I can avoid it. Next we have, what are you? This is one I haven't seen the spoiler on. It says 100% vegan sculpting pressed blush from Imani. Never heard of Imani. Oh, I like that. That's pretty packaging. That's a color I can live with too. We'll see how it looks when I put it on my skin. It's kind of it's light. We'll have to see if it builds up a little bit. But that's a color that I would use for a more natural color. It says that it is called, I can't read that. Caliente. I know, I go through these boxes and I'm so excited. I want to see more. And what is this? This is the Koki. This is the thing that was supposed to be in our last box that somehow everybody didn't get. So this is the Koki Powder Contour Palette. It's supposed to have highlight and contours. Oh, wow. And it goes all along the spectrum. Let's not blind you guys, huh? With really dark colors and some really light ones. And none of these have a shimmer to them. Let's see what we can do here. Those are the three supposed contours. Obviously, a couple of them won't work for my skin. 3 highlights. Let's see. Oh, wow. It's a little powdery, but there's the 3 highlights. So we have 2 more items. We have Defense Day Cream SPF 30 Broad Spectrum Matte Finish Tinted and Oil Free. And this must just be tinted. This just must be a sunscreen. It doesn't say it's a primer or anything. Helps prevent sunburn. So yes, this is a sunscreen. I actually should use more sunscreens, but I don't like them. It's got a nice safety seal on it. I don't like them. I don't like the way they feel on my skin, generally speaking. They feel kind of heavy and greasy usually, but let's take a look at this one. Nice light tint. That feels really thick. Blend it out nice. Probably could use it as maybe like a primer or something. I have already primed my face, so I'm not going to be using this today. I'll have to give that one a try and let you all know how I feel about it. Like I said, I should use sunscreen more often. I tend not to. I'm bad. I'm really bad. And then finally, we have the Catherine, from Catherine, which is natural, cruelty-free, paraben-free, gluten-free. The Beauty of Giving Back Courage Makeup Palette. There's the boxing. The box is really pretty. Now, I'm going to admit, I'm going to tell you guys, I got to see a possible spoiler for a totally different palette. And I absolutely fell in love with that other palette. So I'm a little upset that this is the palette we got, not the other palette. But let's take a look at this one. Hopefully it's colors that I like. It's got this sleeve. This sleeve is tight, but of course we all know I can't open things. And the cover of the actual palette, it's a sturdy cardboard like a lot of them are nowadays. And the cover matches the sleeve. But there's the palette. Those are some pretty colors that I can live with, actually, that I can use. And this one too has a, I guess that's supposed to be a contour shade. Oh no, that's going to be more of a highlight for me, I think. And then they have another one that's a highlight. Wow, that's really bright. Okay, so we've got the 4 eyeshadows. Let's take a look at those. 2 are mattes, 2 are shimmers. Look really. It's on the pinky side. Oh, nice. Got some nice pigmentation on that. That's beautiful. And then we have 2 blushes. One that has a shimmer to it. That'll probably work for my skin. And the other one is a little on the pink side, I think, for me. We'll have to give it a try and see. Let's try these blushes. Again, looks like there's really decent pigmentation. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that pink is just a little bright. Just a little bright for me. So that was our box this month. I'm actually, you know what? You see the sneak peek sometimes and you're just like, eh. And then you get the products and you end up being a little bit more impressed. So I'm a little bit more impressed right now, I think, than I expected to be. Anyway, so let's get started. I can't see you anymore. You can see me. I can't see you. But we're going to give this a shot. I do things just a little bit differently than what I've seen on other YouTube channels, which is fine. You know, my girls tell me, shouldn't do it that way. No, you do it whatever way you want to do it. Whatever way is comfortable for you, that's how you do it. I have already primed my face and my nose. And yes, I do my nose a little separately. I can't find it. But I've used my NYX, see if I can put enough, my NYX Hydra Touch. I've already put that all over my face. And I have set it with a powder. Got that from Jackie Ina. She says you should set your primer with a powder. So I did. And I have already used my NYX Gotcha Covered concealer over my eye. Powdered that down and then put my Kryolan primer, eyeshadow primer over that. So I am all ready to go. I do my eyes first before I put on my primer and I put on my bases, and then I do my eyes. So we're going to start with, this is the BH Cosmetics 101 Fluffy Brush. We're going to take this light color. Don't want to blind you guys. Let's do it this way. I'm going to take this BH, this light color, and I'm going to put it up underneath my brow. I do light to dark, generally speaking, top down, and then I work on my crease after all of that. My youngest daughter says that I probably shouldn't do all of this underneath my brow, but the thing is, when your eyes live in the hood, you have to use all the real estate you can to make them show up. So that's part of my real estate, and that's why I do that. So here we go. See how this does. Oh, it picked up nice. So that's actually showing up pretty decent. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, see? You've got to be kidding me right now. That's where I keep my brushes for the moment. Let's take out our Luxie 239 that I got from Ipsy a little bit back. And I'm going to take this purple, put that across my lid. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I'm a little happier with this now. Okay, so next I'm going to grab, where's the other one I got? One of my other good brushes. This is my Vasanti, and I got this. This is a Vasanti eyeshadow brush, that's all it says. But I got this from my glossy box. I'm going to take this pink and do a brush of pink. One of the things that I've learned is that when you have hooded eyes, you not only use all the real estate you can, you also try to give yourself a little bit of a glow or a lighter color in the middle of your lid to help make your eyes easier to see. There is quite a bit of fallout. This is one of the reasons why I do my foundation after my eyes, because of all the fallout. Let me dust off some of that fallout. In case you get some fallout, you have to get rid of that. And then I need to take my Ipsy Deal Lisa Frank brush, and I'm going to do a little blending with that. Blend that out a little bit. This is my e.l.f. All right, so we're going to take this really dark color on the end here. It's a darkish brown. I'm going to do this in my crease. And then a little bit on the tail end of my eye, just on the outer corner. And then I tend to go up towards the brow. This one does not appear to be as pigmented as the others, which is interesting. Still beautiful. And then we're going to carry that down here a little bit. Bring the eye together on the bottom. I like this mirror. This mirror is nice and big. It's a very nice mirror. And at the top, I didn't even see this before. I'm going to try to do this without blinding you guys. Can you see that? It says confidence, strength, and courage. That's neat. I like that. This is a Sephora brush. This is one of the first brushes I ever owned for my daughter. We're going to blend that out just a little bit up top. Then I'm going to get this nameless brush. I think I got this in a really cheap set from Walmart, I think. And none of those brushes were named. And I'm going to use this purple first. And I'm going to put that under my eye. Then I'm going to add a little bit of the pink over it. Now we are going to color correct. I have quite a bit of redness in a lot of places, and dark shadows under my eyes and things like that, so I color correct. And I color correct with the Mineralogy, I think that's how it's pronounced, cream color correctors. These are perfect. I used to use the NYX pot color correctors, but they are very hard and stiff, so they don't blend out easily. And then I tried the wand correctors, and they're more liquidy, and I honestly think you end up spending more money on them. This little set, it comes like this. You can't get these individually. You have to buy the whole set. They're $20, and it's perfect. It's perfect. Perfect. So I am going to go and find my color correcting brushes, which are all e.l.f. This is another jar. Another coffee mug I use for a jar. All right, so we're going to start with the green. Just a little bit. Let me show you this. It's very light. It blends out really nice. It's beautiful. I love it. It doesn't. That's the other reason I don't like the wand concealers, is that when you use them, they take over your face. The green turns me green, and that's not what I want. I want to, even when blended out, my face looks green. And this, I put it out with my brush. It doesn't take over my face, so that makes me happy. I need color correction. I don't need a green face. I have a few spots that I use this on. I have discoloration that's not necessarily red, but that's a problem for me. Then I take my sponge, my damp sponge, and then you will find I have color matched my sponges. But there, you can see it has worked on my redness without taking over my face, and I really like that. The other thing that I liked about this particular set is that this peach is the perfect color for me. You can barely see it there, but it's a peachy yellow, peachy color. You're supposed to use orange when you have dark circles like I do, or some sort of orange color. I find when I use a really dark orange, the rest of my face starts to look really sallow. It turns yellow, and I don't like that at all. So I've been hunting down the right color of peach, and this is perfect. This is perfect. So we're going to conceal. We're going to go up here. Now I go up my edge to define where my eyeshadow should finish, and I cover up any mistakes with my corrector. Basically, I go from the corner of my eye up to my tip of my eyebrow, and anything underneath that gets covered up. The other nice thing about this stuff is that it builds up without turning cakey. It does not emphasize my texture, of which I have quite a bit under my eyes. Yellow sponge. I know this camera is not as good as an actual HD camera. This is on the phone, but if you can look, everything is actually really smooth and blended out beautifully. I still have some discoloration, I do use concealer later in the putting my face on. That will help finish this all off. Next, I use purple, and the reason I use purple is to brighten up my under eye a little bit. It's the only spot I use the purple, which I'm sure sounds counterintuitive. The dark coloration under my eyes is purple, but this honestly does help. But the purple doesn't go all the way back. Just goes from the corner of the eye to the other corner of the eye. And again, I'm patting, and I'm just trying to brighten that area up, which is what purple is supposed to help do. That, and it gets rid of sallowness. I started using it when I was using orange. I mean, a really pretty dark orange, the NYX orange in the jar. And I was noticing that my skin was looking discolored rather than concealed with that orange. And I started using the purple, and I just like the effect of it. Here we go. Purple smash. And finally, use a little bit of yellow in certain spots for some bright color underneath our foundation. And I already know a bunch of you girls are probably going, a bunch of you people are probably going, it's too much. It's too much. Now, this one I got from Zamora, from Ipsy. He's one of the Ipsy creators. And he says this helps smile lines. I don't know if it actually does that, but I've been doing it anyway. And then this next one I've been doing since I started doing it when I was doing my makeup in high school. Helps define your mouth with a little brightness. Take our yellow one again. Are you surprised? Like this. Blend that out. And now we're ready for foundation. This is a abysmal face flat brush. I got this off with a set off Amazon probably about 2 years ago. Getting ready. One of them has broken. Another one has come loose. This is the one I use for my primer. As you can see, I've duct taped it. So they're getting about ready where I need to replace them. And we are going to try the Sassy Chick. Oh, that's thick. I like a thick foundation though. I don't like it wet and watery. I don't like it going down my face. So we're just going to do a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay. Now this foundation has moisturizer in it, so it's doing what my Tarte does when I mix it with my moisturizer, in that it's gonna look shiny until it dries down. I would say this is a light to medium because I can still see some of my discoloration right here that I have. I always start with a brush and with a sponge. This I got from NYX as a loyalty program. This is one of their, I don't think this is available to buy. I think you actually have to be on their makeup crew to get this as a loyalty thing. I have a lot of texture right in between my eyes, and so I have to use the sponge to press it in. And then I use the sponge to blend out a little bit more. All right, so I have a few spots that I still need to cover, so I'm going to put a little bit on my little mirror here. Ooh, that's a bit more than I wanted to put, but that's okay. It's a cheap foundation. And then I'm going to dip my sponge in it. This is where I do more correcting work, more covering up. I did forget to set my color correctors, but that's okay. We'll live. Anyway, so directly under the eyes to help try to finish covering up and defining all of that. This is a very, very loose feeling foundation once you get it on your face. It's very thick on the thing, but it feels very loose on the face. And I'm not sure you can tell, but it's also not going to give me any kind of matte finish, which I actually prefer, but hey. I don't think this is a bad foundation yet. My skin hasn't reacted to it in a way that's unpleasant, so that's a good thing. Obviously, as I noted when I opened up and shared it in my last video, the color selection is abysmal. But for what it is, it seems to be pretty good. It's just not the kind of coverage I would normally like. And it's drying in such a way where it's a bit more, it's not matte, and I prefer matte. I have an oily skin, and I just have an aversion to shiny foundation. So this is where I use my wand concealer now. I have the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Wand Concealer. This is in the color Sand Beige. I think it's pretty close to my skin tone. As with my peach, I go all the way up to, again, to help define my eye. Where my shadow is. I'm dotting. This is the sponge I got in last month's Yoy. And again, I'm patting and blending out, making sure the edges are all blended out. I'm going to powder the center of my face to set the concealer. I should have done this before I put on my foundation too. I kind of forgot. But I powder, I go down the nose. This would be the reason I would do this with before the foundation is because all that concealer that I put in, all that color correcting I put in. And then I would do it again just under the eyes. And then I have another big fluffy brush, by the way, my big fluffy brush cup. Kiss, 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 kiss. You guys should recognize that. Anyway, I take this again. This is the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder in clear. Yeah. I'm not completely impressed with this. I'm still looking for a powder I like. Powder down my eyes to prevent any future, hopefully help against any future holes developing in my makeup. Now I'm going to line, and I think I'm going to use my new gold stuff. So, again, and this is how I would do with a regular eyeshadow too. Just a couple of, when I'm using eyeshadow as a liner, I'm going to try to use my new brush. My Aesthetica E14. Get it nice and wet. Get into this. Try to see if we can pick some up. I picked up really good, it looks like. We're going to have gold eyeliner. Let's see if it actually works. I do not go completely in on the bottom. Okay, so I finally gave up on the gold stuff. I'm going to have to play around with this and see if I can find a way to use it. Instead, I ended up using this purpley shade. This purpley, dark purpley shade from the Energy Noir, which is on my project pan anyway, so that was a good thing. That didn't come out so well. One side, always with my wings, one side comes out nice, the other side doesn't. But anyway, I did like this. It gave me a nice fine line for my top. You can see it there. You can see a little bit of that gold down there. But anyway, so moving on. We're ready to try the cookie. So this nice deep bronzer color. This is my NYX Professional Makeup. It says 02. I love their brushes. I do. I need to get more. That's some nice color. Don't need a lot of it. That's nice. That's nice. You see that? That's nice, huh? Beautiful. Just a touch at the top. Not a lot. And then patting. The color is really nice. Nice, nice. Beautiful. And we're going to try this sculpting blush called Caliente by Imani. I think this is a beautiful color. It's probably going to give me a natural glow rather than a blushy blush. Might use a little bit of the Catherine blush over it. Have my this is the big Sephora collection bronzer 44. Now I don't know if this one is available on the website anymore, but I pat it in and then I pat it on. I do not brush, I pat. I find that helps minimize my texture on my under eye down into my cheeks. Oh, I like that color. That's nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's beautiful. That came out looking good. Let's see. I'm going to use this lighter pinky color. Ooh, there's a lot of that. Let's, yeah, that's a little much. Don't need much. Look at these highlights. I think we're going to go with this one. Again, you see I'm doing a patting motion. Do this with my blush and my highlighter. Try to avoid showing off my texture. I can see it being used as a highlighter. I prefer a little bit more shine, I think. And this is my Sephora Must Have Angled Brush 50. I do think they still have this one on the site. I really like it. I think I need a little more shine. Okay, so not too impressed with the highlighter. Impressed with the bronzer, not too impressed with the highlighter. Alrighty, so we're ready to set it. And we're going to go ahead and use the Catherine to set. Big fluffy brush. Love my big fluffy brush. Here's hoping that there's no white cast. Again, patting. Now, take off all this headband stuff. I have all these little wispy hairs that get in the way of my foundation and will turn really icky colored if I don't deal with them. So I have to use a lot to tighten things up, and it can be difficult. Let's get all of that off. Hello, you can see me now. I think we'll try the NARS, that bright pink NARS that I got from my Sephora Play as a liner. And this e.l.f. that I got for the actual lip color. And there's the final look. I'm glad I'm actually pretty happy this month. We got our Koki that should have been last month, and we got this. Actually surprised me. Really, I like this. The only thing, and the color, you know what? I was sitting there thinking there's no place that shows the colors, and it's on the back of the sleeve. That's cool. Should have looked earlier, right? I'm sometimes not very observant. I think we figured that one out. And then here's the blush. I like the Imani blush. This is a good color for me. Except the Catherine was a little bit pink. Probably a little too dark. But like the blush, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Gonna have to play with it and see if I can get it to work for me. So, but otherwise, I'm pretty pleased with this box. I'm really happy. I think this one, was it worth $21? Yes. Yes, most definitely. Alrighty then, so that's it for today. If you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe and click the reminder bell so that you know when I upload. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.